We left off over here, days, so we left off on Friday. I mean, we said it, but it had to do with Shechianu. Right? The Mechaber says that when you purchase a talus and you make tzitzis, you say Bircha Shechianu. Right? That's what the Mechaber said. So the Mishna Berura had said, Pastor will do it over again. So over here he starts Koren talus. Ein lakshas do al kelim chadoshim tzorach levorech b'shas kinyon. I mean, if you buy a new garment, when you buy the garment, you're supposed to say Shechianu. Lo hamakosav osabo tzitzis. Why regarding the four-corner garment does it say the Shechianu is when you make tzitzis? V'yeshloma davke shkona beged shuroi lubosh k'moshu. When do you say Shechianu? When you buy a garment, a new garment? That's only if it's wearable at the time of the purchase. It's very important, right? This is just a review. Oz Mevorch Miyad, page 61 in Mishna Berura Aleph. Avodim kora beged lasus mina malbushim. First bought material, and from that material he's going to fashion garments. Oz lo yivorach afil ach shenivar. Even after the garment is finished, it's wearable. What does the Shechianu? Does not. 1 second. Here, person buys material, and let's say you make shirts for yourself. Normally, let's say you'd make a shechin if you buy a shirt which is wearable immediately. You bought fabric and you make the shirt. Even though now the shirt is wearable, because you already had this relevance to this shirt before it became a shirt, when do you actually have that special attachment to it? Special pleasure when you wear it. Okay? It's either at the time of the purchase, it's wearable, or when you actually wear it, you say Shechianu. If it's a four-corner garment, you can't wear it immediately, because it has to have tzitzis. So when you purchase the four-corner garment, the material, it's not wearable. So therefore, when you put on tzitzis, logora abol ein vor shechir ala mitzvah. Kevin ein abov mizman lezman. But on the mitzvah, one doesn't say shechianu. Lefishe ze imosa tzitzis beged shoylog b'kvar. Yeah. Let's say he owned the garment, and he put tzitzis on that garment that he owned. What, right? Person had a piece of cloth, he cuts it, he puts on four corners. He puts tzitzis on it, one does not say Shechianu. Here it's a combination. He purchased a four-corner garment, and he put tzitzis on it. He says, you say Shechianu when you put the tzitzis on, even before you wear it. What? Well, Taskot, because it doesn't have that special value, right? Person makes tefillin for Einu B'var Shechianu. Now we have to say why. Let's see the Mishna Berura. Kono, I'm Mishna Berura Siv Cotton Beis. I'm Beis Yosef Chosehu Das Bala Itur. This is the position of Bala Itur. V'da David Hatchil Vari Yishlino Kain. Acha Das HaShulchan Aruch V'od Kama Achronim. Kama Achronim Posku Kain Ko Itur. B'kol Mokom Milson the Psiktehu. It's not something which is simple. Dol is tom v'atas posku Rambam v'yimel Eliyahu Rabo. Rabbi Yeruah posing gam ken Rambam tzarich levar sheichano gam al tefillin michodosh. Person buys a new pair of tefillin, you say Shechianu. 1 second. Chose im oso samat. That's only if you made the tefillin yourself, not if you purchased them. 1 second. Avon kona tefillin me'asofer. But if you purchase the tefillin from a sofer, v'chein linyin tzitzis imitilam acher bibido. You don't put the tzitzis on yourself. Somebody else put the tzitzis on your four-corner garment on your behalf. Mashbe agrosham the aftas harama mitzorch levorech shechianu. Imlo shekona ata talus bichodosh the tzorch levorech machmas kevel chadoshim. Here, if you purchased the talus with someone else put on the tzitzis, and when you purchased it, it had the tzitzis. That means it's no less than purchasing a new garment. It's a new garment. You say shechianu. But if you owned the garment before, and somebody else put the tzitzis on, then you will not say shechianu until you actually wear it. 1 second. Al keimi anoch sheyachnis atzmo l'schayif shechianu mitzar acher chavelifto gamazeh befrat im lovesh at tefillin pam rishona b'mechayif. Person first time he's putting a bar mitzvah boy. He's putting on tefillin for the first time. Okay. V'vari yira lasos etzazo. He should take something else which will obligate him to say shechianu and have in mind that the shechianu should cover this. They're of the opinion the first time you do a mitzvah in your life, although it's going to be an ongoing mitzvah, right? Once you start it, it's ongoing. Once the shechianu on such a mitzvah, Einschub to a shori or there sim chafei chavches primagodim shom rabba sim zeh v'agro sim zeh mashma shein esova karech kech b'zeh. He says the Vilna argues. First time you do a mitzvah, do you say shechianu or not? It's machlokes. Therefore, rather than getting involved in this question of Sofi Baruch's Lokel, you should take something else which definitely obligates you to say Shechianu, have in mind for that, and that will cover the first time you're doing the mitzvah. Very often by bar mitzvah boys, if that night is the first night of the bar mitzvah, they ask him to daven married for the Amud. I don't know, there's such a custom, because the first time, this is his first obligation of saying Kriya Shema. So therefore, to introduce him to his time of obligation, you honor him by giving him the Amud. Some people have such a custom. If there's no chiv, there's a chiv, of course, he has a preference on the oven, priority.
If you put on film for the first time, there's a question whether you should have the shechianu. But if you're buying another pair of film later on, there's no question.
If you didn't make the tefillin yourself, if you didn't make the tefillin, I don't know why. What's tefillin different than the what's his name buying a new talus? I don't know. I'm not sure why.
Tefillin are made from leather. Why? We don't make shechianu.
No. You don't say tischadish. You don't say tischadish. Shechianu is something else. Shechianu is you thank Hashem that you've come to this moment.
Someone buys a real expensive, wonderful pair of shoes. They make shechianu on them.
No. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you do.
I thought one doesn't because it's leather.
Regarding the tischadish, people say tischadish. What's tischadish? It's new. It should wear out. You should be able to buy another pair. Right. That's the meaning of tischadish.
Okay.
Who makes his own pair of tefillin? Very few people.
I understand. Okay. I'm not sure why if you buy a pair of tefillin any different than buying a new talus.
Much more costly too.
And you do it less often. You do it less often than buying a new talus. New talus you buy one every, whatever, it's 5 years, 10 years. A pair of tefillin, you wear the same tefillin your whole life. Most.
Greater Kedusha with tefillin.
So even more so.
What?
You should say Shechianu.
On the tefillin.
But you don't. He says you don't.
So why?
I'm not sure. I have to look into it. Okay, let's go just a little further. Dine tzitz beis hakvaros. Mutar likonis beis hakvaros hu lovish tzitzis. You're permitted to go into a cemetery when you're wearing your tzitzis. Meaning, although they're exposed. Meaning, they're seen. Fu shelo yeh nigra al hakvaros. But the string should not be dragged on the grave. Avolim hu.
You're talking again about the Talis Gadol.
Talis cotton too, if they're long enough, the strings. Avolim nigra al hakvaros. But if the strings actually drag on the grave, osam shalog l'rosh. That's considered pasuk in Mishlei logro l'rosh chorfa. So you're mocking the impoverished one, because if the person dies, he's not able to do the mitzvah.
Right.
So it's like you're boasting, I could and you can't.
Why you bury someone in talus?
Firstly, they puzzle it, right? They invalidate it
When they do the,
when they put him in the grave.
and then
They invalidate. Sure, they cut off one of the strings. It's cut. It's detached. One cord. It's al pi kabbalah. The whole idea when a person bears the talus was time of resurrection, that the person, when he is resurrected, he will resurrected with the talus. No, everything will be restored. Everything decomposes. Even the tachrichin, and the Gemara says, even though, Cleopatra, it's one of the questions she asked the Chachomim. These are the issues which she was interested in Cleopatra. when a person will be resurrected, is he going to be resurrected in a naked state or in a clothed state? That was her question. She asked the Chachamim. Right? So they said, if you take a kernel and you put it in the ground and you plant it where it doesn't have husks, and when it comes out with multiple husks. So it goes without the husk, and it comes out with multiple husks. So a human being that goes onto the ground with tachrichim, clothed, there's no question he comes out clothed. That's what they answered her. So, I mean, the whole idea of resurrection is a ness. So everything's restored. The clothing and the talus with the tzitzis, everything's restored. Famous story.
Tzitzis are possible.
So, just as the garment will be restored, the tzitzis will be restored. There was a famous story, the Yisod V'Shesh Avoda. It's Alpi Kabbalah, they bury in a talus. In Eretz Yisrael, they don't bury in a talus. They take the person to the grave in the talus, but when they put him in the grave, they take the talus off. They don't bury the person in the talus. Everything's Kabbalah, based on Kabbalistic reasons. So the Yisod V'Shesh Avoda, his name was Rav Alexander Ziskin, he gave the order. He was a big, great Makubal. The Vilna Gaon referred to him as a chosid. They lived at the same time. So you can imagine, Vilna Gaon referred to him as a chosid. He must have been a chosid. So he gave the order, his last will and testament, that when he's buried, they should passel the talus. The Chevra Kadisha of that community held, you don't passel the talus. So they did not follow his instruction. Then when they put him in the grave in Europe, they buried him in talus. So what happened was that as they were lowering the body into the grave, one of the tzitzis got caught on something and tore up the talus. And it was obvious to everybody. You know, this man says he wants his talus invalidated. It was invalidated before he went into the grave.
They don't like it or not.
Most Chevra Kadishas, I mean, outside of Israel, they don't bury in a talus. They passel the talus. Okay? So he says, why should you not allow the tzitzis to drag on the grave? Mishum doig l'rosh. It was in those days that the reason why a tzitzis was it was fashioned on a four-cornered garment. I mean, the garment you wore was not a talus shel mitzvah. Torah says you wear a four-cornered garment, you must put tzitzis. We only wear tzitzis only because it's for the sake of the mitzvah, to fulfill the mitzvah. Even talus cotton. What do we wear talus cotton? Only so we should fulfill the mitzvah. Even if they should be exposed, even if they're not dragging on the grave. So that's the reason people, they go into a cemetery very often, if they have their tzitzis out, they put them in their pants, or they make sure that their jacket is closed, that they should not be exposed, that you should not be seeing the tzitzis. Of course, that has a greater representative. One is it a problem if the tzitzis are exposed, avalim heim mutter. But if they're covered, it's permitted. Okay? It appears as if what? You're disgracing the dead. You're boasting you can and they can't. They were fashioned with four corners. Meaning even though the garment he's wearing a talus godel in the cemetery. It's clear. It's a striped talus. The garment is representing mitzvah, but as long as the strings themselves are concealed, it's not a problem. If he tucks the strings in. So if that's the case, the talus coat that you wear under your clothing, it's not a problem. But if he's not wearing his outer jacket, right? So then it's obvious. The tzitzis are exposed. Unless they're going to be tucked into the corners. It's interesting what you said the other day. You know, we grew up years ago, the way a talus cotton was made, they had pockets. With that piece of cloth was sewn on, it was a pocket. And you were able to tuck the tzitzis. Today it's not made that way any longer.
Still.
No, they're not.
And people use them, my wife used the pocket to put the tzitzis into for washing.
Yep. You must have bought that in the vintage used clothes shop. Today, the way it's made, they don't make it that way anymore. I'm telling you, they don't.
Sure. The pockets on the side.
Yes.
Mine does.
Mine does.
Yeah, because you're wearing that. But if you buy the conventional talus cotton, an expensive one, $50 for a woolen talus cotton, okay, it does not have a pocket on it. Doesn't. Years ago, all talus cottons had pockets on each corner that you would tuck it in.
It's very handy for washing.
I understand. But he says, because you have to tuck them into the corners. His Prima Godim says, even talus cotton, even if it's covered, the tzitzis, you shouldn't go into a cemetery. Because the garment itself represents the mitzvah. We discussed earlier. If you want to go into the bathroom with a talus godel, right? Even though it's tashmish, you can do mitzvah. No, you should not. It's a disrespect. No. Talus cotton, yes. Talus cotton, yes. Talus godel, not. Since it's beged miyuchad l'tefillah, it's designated for tefillah, it's inappropriate. Something that you wear when you stand before Hashem, you don't go with that garment into the bathroom. So he said a kittel. He says a kittel. To urinate, yes, but to defecate, you're not permitted.
For urinate.
Also, it would be the same thing. Would be.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, but it would be a difference. First, defecate, definitely not.
Right.
But it would be, if you have a urinal versus a stool. Could be there's difference because when you urinate, that location is designated for a different type of function than the stool.
So you technically you could go into the bathroom to urinate with the towels on.
But I'm explaining to you. If you have urinals,
then you
then because that location is not a location of defecation.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But the stool, it's a different function there.
Right,
Then it's not respectful.
But just walking into the bathroom for the urinal, you could with the towel.
Right. I mean, people don't.
So you would.
They don't. People don't. Because of the sensitivity they have to what its value is.
And what? So a kittel, then you.
A kittel is like he says is like a towel. What do you wear a kittel?
Yeah.
Right, for the same reason. So he
Right.
says to urinate, it's not a problem. But to wear it when the person defecates, definitely not. It would be considered disrespect. Okay?
But generally speaking, people take their kittel off.
Right. Ochein the Beis Yosef Lamash B'Kein. He says the Beis Yosef seems not to say like the Prima Godim, that you're permitted to wear, as long as the tzitzis are covered, you're permitted to wear the talus godel, although it's obvious it's a talus in the cemetery. Gam b'der Chaim Sosam because it's Mechusa Mutter.
Actually, is there Kedusha in the kittel?
No. No Kedusha in the talus either.
Oh, the tzitzis are the tzitzis.
No, they have no Kedusha. It's Tashmishi Mitzvah. Right? That's
What is a kittel? Yeah?
also, it's a beged miyuchad l'tefillah. Right?
Yeah, but so you could say wearing a jacket.
A jacket is not a primary for tefillah. It's not a tefillah jacket, even though you may wear it. A talus with stripes, that is made. Kittel is only made. When else does this person wear a kittel? It's made for Yom Neroim. So let's say it would be a kittel. I'll give you an example. Alan, it's an interesting question. Person that has a kittel when he's getting married. It was never worn for Yom Neroim. Is the chosed permitted to wear that and go do his bodily functions? Be permitted. Because we hold Hazman Alav Milsa. Designating something without using it in that context doesn't assume that status. So until he experiences his first Rosh Hashanah, let's see, wore it at the Seder, right? Also, doesn't that that kittel he could go into the bed, he could do his body functions with it, would not be a problem. Okay.
In America, are people buried in their talus in America?
Yes. Outside of Israel, Europe,
Let's say they weren't married.
they're still buried in the talus. Person's buried in the talus. Women, no.
So I had seen the casket open, and the person was the one in the talus. It was like almost looked like a mummy, the way they were wrapped.
In Israel, or in
In America,
they were religious people.
very religious people.
No. That's
It was a kid,
no.
though. It wasn't married.
What they do is there is an outer sheet that they wrap around the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The talus inside. It's all Kabbalistic.
Like when you bury someone at sea,
There's no such thing as burying at sea. No such thing. You saw it too when you belong to the Navy.
no, but if you...
There's no such thing as burying at sea.
So what do you do with the...
Whatever you do.
Now you see him.
If it's not pikuach nefesh, you're not permitted to throw the body over the side. It's pikuach nefesh, you do what you have to do. You know what you're supposed to do. It's a question of body decomposes and cause disease, and people will die from that. So then you throw it over the side. It's pikuach nefesh.
But
Yep.
you would throw it over the side.
But it's not
with
called-
a talent or without a talent?
Robbie, I think we got to write a book. What's it called?
Uh-huh.
I mean, of course not. It doesn't have. It's not called a burial. It's not burial. You understand? There's no such thing as burial at sea. What's it called? Some Davy's locker. What's it called? Davy Doden Jones locker. Okay. It's a locker room. They have talesim down there. Okay.
With old naval people who were buried at sea, sailors, Jewish sailors, they thrown overboard.
Yeah.